I think, thousands and thousands of years back, and which is the soul or Atma of this nation, that will create the nationhood, that will create a culture, that will create a dharma. That what Panditji discusses. So, when we think nationalism or nation in this manner, definitely it will not create racism or divisions in the world, and it will never create some nations which are seeing today in Middle East, or for that matter in Western countries. So this aspect of nation or nationhood or Rashtra, which cannot be easily translated as nation, but the concept of Rashtra, that should be, I think, for our nation to move forward, for Bharat to move forward with integral humanism, this concept of Rashtra, it should be, I think, percolated to the lowest strata of our society. Because for a nation, for a Rashtra, for Bharat to become stronger or to move in a path of progress, only economics, as Venkatesh said, that is small part of our culture. And for that matter, for any nation, it's a small part of that whole society. The main thing would be the Chiti which Deendayal discusses. And it is inherent character of that society, that nation, which will be felt and lived by crores of people on that land. So this concept of Rashtra, I specifically mentioning the concept of Rashtra to keep it different from the nation or nationhood terminologies, that should be percolated, I think, to take our Bharat forward. Second point which I want to touch upon is the youth power of our country. When Rajaji quoted, it's not the mass production, but production by the masses, which Shoemaker said once. Deendayal also discusses in his Integral Humanism essays about this production by masses. That is, all who are capable of producing for our mother society or for our nation, they should be given chance. This is the basic concept behind it. Today, there is a lot of talk about demographic dividend. Demographic dividend, I think it's more about potential workforce of that society. As per some analysts, up to 2075, Bharat will be having a competitive edge even over China or Western countries in this demographic dividend matter. But when we see only having youth power between 14 and 49 age group is not only, it will not contribute to the progress of the nation. If that youth power or that demographic dividend, a workforce, if it becomes restless, it will be more dangerous for a society. So when Panditji Deendayal says, all should be given a chance to contribute through their production towards the country or for our mother society. When we think about 10 or 15 years, coming 10 or 15 years, there is a lot of things which we have to think and to do. Not only government, but as a society, there is so many challenges where all our hands, especially youths, will producing something for our nation, our society. To do that, we have to find avenues and we have to make so many structural changes in our society. That will be a big challenge. I think when I travel in rural areas of our country, you, I can see so many youth sitting idle in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. There may be two challenges. One is to provide a system, a structure where they can earn or where they can work. Second is the mindset. There is one study which has been done in Karnataka where mindset of youth is also a hurdle in unemployment. Though they are given chances, they have not done this. This is a study, a systematic study done in about 100 villages in southern part of Karnataka. So, as a society, I think when we think of taking the society forward, as per Deendayalji's vision also, if all should get something to contribute towards the society by producing something for our mother society, I think we have a big challenge which we have to address. For that, there are so many developments taking place in technological or we can say in educational field. Last month I was reading an article about MOOCA, massive online open course, where the universities or the entities, they will give knowledge and also skill for those who want to enhance their ability to work or produce. And most of the companies, many companies in almost in the West, I think it's more about Western world, where they are recognizing these degrees or credits from these types of universities, and not only the new entrants to that workforce, but also those who are already working there, but they are not having the skills for their improvement. They also have been given this MOOCA type of education. So, using technology, we have to address that problem, I think. The third one, I'll finish with this third point. As many speakers quoted Deendayalji, or the basis of Ekatma Manav Darshan, integral humanism, is that the spiral bond between Vyakti, Samashti, Shushti and Parameshti, or individual, family, society and the creation. Today in our society also, I think in most of the other societies also, there are so many academic or social scientists, they are equating the government with the Rashtra or society. Deendayalji was very specific. The political system or the governance, the place of governance in a Rashtra is limited to some percentage only, right? For a nation, for a Rashtra, good governance or a good administration is a most required one. But it's not all. But today in our society also, many people think that if we get a good prime minister, if we get a good home minister, all things will be done. When Vyakti, Kutumb, society and the Parameshti or the environment these types of links are established, the individual become most important. If Vyakti Nirman is not done in a proper manner, whether if we get Modi ji as Prime Minister or somebody more powerful than Modi ji, then also our society will not move forward as Deendayal ji thought. One thinker very beautifully said this in 2 sentences. By change of government, you cannot elevate a nation which is individually fallen, just as you cannot improve your daughter's grammar by giving her a new fountain pen. This is I think when Deendayal ji said integral humanism, he first starts with an individual. Then that spiral circle will develop up to the creation. So I think if integral humanism should take our Rashtra forward, Bharat forward, we have to concentrate on individuals, on Vyakti Nirman. If that is the only way, we have to go for that way only. There is no shortcuts. I think with these 3 points, I will finish my speech and I will leave time to Sri Madhav ji. I am also awaiting his speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Manya Mukunda ji, for enlightening us on how the ideals of integral humanism, as propounded by Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya ji, offers a very powerful paradigm for taking our nation forward much beyond the existing paradigms of development as we know it today. Thank you very much. Before we go on to the next speaker, I just want to request all students from various schools and colleges who have gathered today, if you've not registered, kindly register yourself outside there, and you would be receiving a certificate of participation for today's event. Thank you. Now, I call upon one of the most awaited speeches of the day. I invite Shri Ram Madhav ji, National General Secretary, Bharatiya Janata Party, and Director, India Foundation, to kindly enlighten us on integral humanism and the changing political narratives.
Most respected, probably the oldest living soldier of India, Saraswati Rajamani ji. She has come here in partly in a soldier's attire. राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के the सह बौद्धिक प्रमुख of RSS, माननीय श्री मुकुंदा जी, पूज्य स्वामी जी, all the distinguished members in the audience, and my dear young friends. Today is the death anniversary, Punya Tithi of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya. We remember him for his seminal ideological contribution to us in the form of integral humanism. So naturally, we will all be talking about integral humanism. So since we are talking about humanism, I have to be a bit humane. You have been listening to so many speeches since I think 3 or 3:30 p.m. And you have, as I realize now, there are lots of students who are not even used to listening to a lecture for 50 minutes. You have been put through this gruel of listening to speech after speech. It's quite inhuman to put you through this torture in the name of integral humanism. And incidentally, I happen to be the last speaker. It is not only a torture for you, it is a threat for me. In one such gathering, after so many speakers have spoken, someone like me was to speak in the end, supposed to be this, one of the chief speakers. So the fellows sitting in the audience they have grown impatient with so many speeches, some good, some not so good. So now came another big speaker. One of them became so very unhappy and angry and annoyed, intolerant. He rose up from his seat, picked up a stick, and rushed towards the dais. So the speaker, namely me, looking at him rushing towards the dais with a stick in his hands, was naturally scared and told the gentleman, friend, don't get so angry. I won't speak for long. I will wind it up quickly. That gentleman said, no, Mr. Madhav, you don't worry, you carry on. Whatever speech you have to do, you carry on. I am looking for the fellow who called you. That Sudarshan, where is he? So in the interest of Sudarshan and others also, let me not be very long. And you have already heard so much about this idea of integral humanism and its relevance and importance today. Friends, what Deendayal ji wanted to do was essentially just one thing. He wanted us, Puja Swamiji is sitting here, he undertook a campaign, Awakening Indians to India, if I am saying it correctly. Basically, Deendayal ji's idea was to reintroduce or remind the people of this country about their great identity. His whole effort through various of his speeches, discourses, etc., was essentially to take us back to that great identity in order for us to move ahead with greater vigor and greater force. That implies, the implied meaning is that we have perhaps forgotten our identity. We were under a long spell of foreign rule,